We very well may be on the cusp of a new silver revolution. I'll explain what I mean in this video as we explore. And this new revolution will come in two different phases, I believe. And I'm going to be talking about the latter phase later. The first phase of it could be increased demand, dramatic demand. I think the only way for silver's price to really go up is to see demand just skyrocket. And that's going to have an effect on the prices. It has no choice. See, I believe in the natural market is the most powerful force that moves silver prices, even though there is evidence circumstantial of manipulation in both directions and maybe even suppression. I like to be open-minded about it all, especially since there was a time where I wasn't as open-minded to that situation. However, a lot of this has to do with what's coming down the pike and what's already here with silver. Now, before we go into too much about that, the price has been frustrating for many of us. The prices have been too low, many of us feel, especially compared to other assets, especially gold. I'm trying to encourage my viewers to not be so focused on gold when you're looking at silver prices because it's a totally different thing. I'm going to get into that in a moment. But in the meantime, there will be dips in the market. And when there are those dips, check out summitmetals.com. They have been proven to be a low price leader many, many times. Not all the time, but they work hard to keep prices low for you. So check out summitmetals.com next time you're in a buying mood and just cost compare. See how they fare compared to other dealers out there. So what is it about silver? Well, what moves the price, obviously, is different things that have to do with, the natural market or the economy. A lot of the same drivers for gold do still affect silver, but really it's about industrial demand over the long course of time. And we've seen that over the last 4 or 5 years now. There has been an increasing demand for silver compared to the supply of it. Everybody agrees, from the most conservative to the most liberal thinking in terms of where silver's price is that there's demand that has moved that price. And this is part of the reason why the price has increased as much as it has. I mean, here we are above $30 an ounce. I'm just using that in a general sense. It's more than that, but by the time you see this video, who knows what's going to happen with the price, because it can be pretty volatile. Notwithstanding, it wasn't that long ago when it was well below $25 an ounce. So we're sitting pretty good, and I think that we're at the cusp of this revolution. That revolution revolves around more demand for battery technology. You've heard me talk about it before with these solid-state silver Samsung batteries. Say that 5 times fast. That is quite a really promising technology that if it bears itself to be what they say it is, then that could be a game changer. No question about it. And now there's other applications that silver has. We're going to get into that in a moment. In fact, you're probably wondering what the heck is this right here. Look how thin that is. Well, that is a 1/2 ounce of silver right there. And it is, I don't really like them thin. I like them thick. I'm going to show you an example of that later. But isn't that kind of cool? Just thought I'd show that. That's Bohr's. This is the Bohr's diagram for silver. So that's what you're looking at here from Elemental. I thought I'd show that there. I got that at my local coin shop. So I thought I'd show it here with this video. But demand for silver is something that is going to be happening more and more, I think, as long as the economy stays where it is or healthy or maybe even improves a bit. There's room for improvement in the economy, although we may not get the recession that many people think we're going to get. Who knows? I like to be, realistic about that as well. The Atlanta Fed said that we have seen 1 quarter of negative growth, but we've not heard any talk about that lately. But so that means that there's going to be increased demand for silver. And even if the economy does fall, there are other recession-proof areas that silver is a part of that I think will, sort of shield it from any massive price drops. Because there's over 10,000 uses for silver. But this battery technology is something that I'm keeping my eye on to see how that develops. We'll see where it goes. Because of that, there is an urgent need because of the more supply than there is, or less supply for the demand that's growing. There's growing demand and less supply to meet that demand. There is an urgent need for recycling silver. Now, for those of you who don't know, there are members of this community who actually recycle their own precious metals. Chief among them is Tony Erickson, and he converts circuit boards, electronics, and other area sources where there's silver and gold and turns them into gold and silver bars. It's pretty amazing what he does. But there's been advancements in this technology. Dramatic advancements. I did a video years ago about how there is a university study that was able to convert wastewater and extract the silver out of that wastewater. That's pretty amazing, I think. So to be able to do that and be able to see that take place there, I think is remarkable to see. And that technology evolve and develop. Of course, that's after a study. It's not as economically viable to do so these days. But if this technology and the price goes up, it will become economically viable. There's a new study out of the University of Helsinki about turning waste into silver using everyday oils. And I'm not talking about the kind that P. Diddy had as well. Silver is becoming harder to mine, but researchers in Finland have found a creative and eco-friendly way to recover it from waste using common fatty acids and hydrogen peroxide. Who would have thought hydrogen peroxide is the cure-all? Remember, this community told me about hydrogen peroxide to put in my ears to help shorten the length of a cold, and it worked. The recycling silver from electronics and industrial waste is becoming more crucial than ever. As demand for this precious metal grows and natural sources become harder to mine, scientists are racing to develop cleaner, smarter ways to recover it. Recycling silver from waste materials is becoming increasingly important for securing the supply of the precious metal. It is highly desirable to design new sustainable separation and recycling strategies to replace current processes that strain the environment. According to postdoctoral researcher Anze Zupak from the University of Helsinki. Right now, less than 20% of silver produced each year gets recycled. Even though the global push for renewable energy is generating more silver containing waste, silver plays a key role in technologies like solar panels. But silver ore is becoming scarcer. Over the last 25 years, the price of silver has increased sixfold, making effective recycling not just necessary, but economically attractive and viable. Indeed, so there you go, and that just goes to show you. Now researchers at the University of Helsinki have introduced a breakthrough recycling technique recently published in Chemical Engineering Journal. So what is this? How does it dissolve in fats? Well, to extract silver safely, the team turned to common fatty acids such as oleic, linoleic, and lanolinic acids. When combining with a 30% solution of hydrogen peroxide, a powerful yet eco-friendly oxidant, these natural oils were able to dissolve silver under mild conditions. In this system, the fatty acids didn't just act as a liquid medium. No, they also help stabilize and dissolve the silver ions. Computational chemistry enabled us to understand the solubility of the metals by investigating the effect of solvents on the thermodynamics of dissolution, according to Professor Carolina Honkala from the University of Jyväskylä. And so the results made it possible to explain whether the insolubility of the metals is causing the surface passivation of thermodynamic barrier. Adding ethyl acetate to the silver fatty acid solution enabled the separation of silver as silver carboxylates from the unreacted fatty acids, which can be recycled. These silver carboxylates were in turn reduced to metallic silver in a light-assisted reduction reactor. an effective and safe method for separating silver. And so, pretty amazing what's being done here or there. If they can take this and scale it up and make it clean, then there you go, and make it efficient, effective, then that would be great. And be able to take things and be able to take silver from keyboards and waste silver plating. And I know from experience that it's not very easy to extract silver from solar panels, that's for sure. There's about 20 grams of silver per solar panel these days. And with new technology, it may even require even more. Pretty amazing. But yes, so silver can be extracted and shaped into many different things. Of course, whether it be bars or this thin silver round here, which by the way has the same diameter as a 2-ounce silver round, which is the same diameter as a 1-ounce silver round. So this is a 1/2 ounce, and this is a 2-ounce salivate metal round, which is available down in the link in the description below from Summit Metals. A little toned version of it here, but pretty wild. It's pretty amazing where the technology is going, and that also just goes to show you that silver really never disappears. It does not go away. It stays. It is amongst us. And it's just a matter of how you're going to extract it. Yes, it's consumed, it's discarded, but it's not completely wiped out once it's utilized. It's just a matter of it becoming economically viable to recycle it. So I think that very well could be the next silver revolution, especially as demand picks up. And that means higher prices down the road. Let me know what your thoughts are down in the comment section below. I hope you found this video informative, insightful, and educational. I'd like to extend a multitude of gratitude to each and every one of you for taking the time to watch, and encourage you to please rate, share, comment, and subscribe.